The unemployed are federally not a protected class. So the reason that this project started is because there was a New York Times article that said that legislation passed in New York City. And as we started digging deeper into it, we found that there were many job postings that specifically stated unemployed need not apply. So there are three main groups that are impacted by this research. The unemployed, so those are the applicants. Then you have the employers, and specifically the hiring managers in the organizations. And the last group are legislators and policymakers. We used an approach called an audit study, specifically a correspondence study, and this is an approach used in the economics literature. The way we could detect whether there was discrimination is by sending 3 different resumes that were equivalent, and the only thing we varied was the employment status. And so then we tracked callback rates, which are basically interview requests. That's the way that we were able to determine whether there was differential treatment in the labor market. We actually looked at 2 different cities, in New York City, and that was the one that I had mentioned passed legislation protecting the unemployed. And so that was our treatment city. The other one was Los Angeles, which was the control or comparison city. And we sent it to jobs that were similar across each. What we found is in New York City, the callback rate was actually very consistent. It was at about 12%. There wasn't much difference in the callback rate. In Los Angeles, we found that the callback rates were different. That difference was the largest and statistically significant between the short-term unemployed and the long-term unemployed. So in this case, the long-term unemployed were less likely to receive callbacks in Los Angeles than the short-term unemployed. And so we found that it didn't really matter whether the city had legislation or not. What mattered more in terms of suppressing people's prejudice was whether they believed there was legislation. So awareness does matter, and it makes a difference.